Assalamualaikum, hello everyone. Welcome back to Cica channel. And today we will discuss about English for specific purpose. And there's a table of content. The first one is definition, characteristic, role of teacher, role of student, and then conclusion. Okay, let's go for the next page for more explanation.
Number 1. Definition of English for specific purpose. Robinson said, English for specific purpose is generally used to refer to the teaching and learning of a foreign language for a clearly utilitarian purpose of which there is no doubt. And therefore, ESP should be seen as an approach, concept, and method that is different from general English. The same thing was said by McDonagh. Regarding the definition of concept of ESP, McDonagh said, ESP courses are those where the syllabus and material are determined in all essential by prior analysis of the communication needs of the learner. Because of that, it indicates that ESP material and syllabus and objectives should be designed and developed based on student need. Because both when they are in college and they are going to work, the teaching material must match their need. So the ESP approach can be called a bottom-up approach or bottom-up approach. Number 2. Characteristic. Here is an ESP characteristic by Dudley Evans and Steve John. They are divided into two parts. The first one is absolute characteristic, and second one is variable characteristic. As you can read by your own, in the ESP class, students are shown how the subject matter content is expressed in English. The teacher can make the most of the student knowledge of the subject matter, thus helping them learning English faster. And the English specific purpose approach enhance the relevance of what the students are learning and enable them to use the English they know to learn even more English, since their interest in their field will motivate them to interact with speakers and text. Number 3. Role of teacher. As an ESP teacher, you must play many roles, and there are 1. Organizing courses. The teacher have to set learning goals and then transfer them into an instructional program with the timing of activity. One of your main tasks will be selecting, designing, organizing course material, also supporting the student in their effort and providing them with feedback on their progress. The second, setting goals and objectives. The teachers arrange the condition for learning in the classroom and set long-term and short-term goals, objective for student achievement. Also, your knowledge of student potential is central in designing a syllabus with realistic goals that takes into account the student concerned the learning situation. Number 3, creating a learning environment. Your skill for communication and mediation create the classroom atmosphere. In here, students acquire language when they have opportunity to use the language interaction with other speakers. Being their teacher, you may be the only one speaking person available to students, and although your time with any of them is limited, you can structure effective communication skill in the classroom. In order to do so, in your interaction with students, try to listen carefully to what they are saying and give your understanding or misunderstanding back at them through your replies. And that's why the teacher should create an atmosphere in the language classroom which support the student. And learner must be self-confident in order to communicate, and you have the responsibility to help them build the learner confidence. And last, evaluating student. The teacher is a resource that helps students identify their language learning problem and find solution to them. As a teacher, you must find out the skill they need to focus on and take responsibility for making choices, which is determine what and how to learn. Also, you will serve as a source of information of the student about how they are progressing in their language learning. Number 4. Role of student. The learner comes to the ESP class with a specific interest for learning, subject matter knowledge, and well-built adult learning strategies. They are in charge of developing English language skills to reflect their native language knowledge and skill. Number 1, there is interest for learning. Students will acquire English as they work with materials which they find interesting and relevant, and which they can use in their professional work or further studies. The more the learner pay attention to the meaning of the language they hear or read, the more they can easily understand about the material. And in ESP, English should be present in authentic context to make the learner acquainted with the particular ways in which the language is used in a function that they will need to perform in their field of specialty or jobs in the future. Number 2, subject content knowledge. Learners in the ESP classes are generally aware of the purposes for which they will need to use English. Having already oriented their education towards a specific field, they see their English training as a complementing this orientation. Knowledge of the subject area enables the student to identify a real context for the vocabulary and structure of the ESP classroom. In such way, the learner can take advantage of what they already know about the subject matter to learn English. Number 3, learning strategies. An adult must work harder than the children in order to learn a new language, but the learning skill they bring to the task permit them to learn faster and more efficiently. The skill they have already developed in using their native language will make learning English easier. An educated adult are continually learning new language behavior in their native language. Since language learning continue naturally throughout our life, they are constantly expanding vocabulary, becoming more fluent in their field, and adjusting their linguistic behavior to new situation or new role. Number 5, conclusion. Teaching of English for specific purpose is necessary in higher education due to the demand in academic setting or workplace later on. Teaching ESP means the teacher focuses the material to content of student's subject field or knowledge, which should be run based on the need analysis. This is the basis of teaching ESP, or it can be said that it is the foundation. By having clear need analysis, course designer will be able to design suitable course intended special for the learner. The second is, by improving the teaching methodology, memorizing terminologies is not a good way for successful learning. It should also include in authentic context so that the learner will easily absorb the knowledge.
Okay everyone, that's it for me. I'm sorry if there is an unclear information or I'm too fast in delivering my material or in explaining. See you in next video and stay healthy.